And I'm recording now. Welcome to the Nerd Herd Podcast. And this is our Podluck, our first ever Podluck. And we've got some of our active slackers already in here and engaged. Hello, Jason.
G'day, Greg. Long time no see.
I know, it's been a while. I got to get back out to the land down under one of these days.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually in Florida at the moment, so.
What are you doing in Florida?
That's still the land down under.
It is. Yeah, my wife's got a contract here for 3 years, so we're set to leave at the end of this year. So.
When did you move?
We moved at the end of 2017, so we've been here for 2.5 years.
It tells you how far behind I am.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it looks like you're the only one that's ready to actually do Podluck because you're outside, you're ready to go. See?
Look at that.
Oh, yes.
I told you.
I'm grilling.
I'm definitely giving Jason the bug spray.
Amy, I'm making you host, so keep an eye on the waiting room or whatever we're calling that thing.
The red rope line into the
making
club.
you bouncer.
I'm making you bouncer. I'm gonna go put on my wedding dress.
Just in case any Denmarkians show up.
Yes. So we also have and I shame on me for not figuring this out sooner. We also have discovered our one fan in Afghanistan, Brian Keys. Brian, how are you?
I'm good.
So this is really wild. So we were talking a little bit before the show about Brian being in Afghanistan and being a contractor. You do networking, Brian?
Yes. I work on the Cisco routers and switches and the IP phones. So.
Wow. So your job is very busy these days. Probably all, but with the coronavirus and people being locked down, there's probably people trying to communicate more often, right? Or no?
That's about the same.
Really? All right. So how did you become a contractor working in Afghanistan?
I was substituting or teaching at I think somebody's mic is going.
Yeah. Hey, Jason, could you mute your mic?
I'm going to, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Brian.
That's fine. I was working at a school in North Carolina where people who went back and got some IT certifications, and most of the people were just back from the Iraq and Afghanistan, and we're talking about the contractors who were working out there now. They wanted to do that. And I started asking questions, and one thing led to another. So here I am.
Wow. Any regrets?
Some days.
Yeah. Just being so far removed, I would imagine is one of them. So and again, I want to be respectful of
sorry.
There
we go.
I'm distracted. Oh my gosh. Sarah.
I bought this off the rack at a wedding store, but it's actually a bridesmaid dress. This is for my second wedding, y'all.
I hated to be rude, but I was going to ask, which wedding was that for?
Wedding number 2. Wedding number 1 dress is actually still in a box in my garage. It's a Christian Dior, really, really beautiful hand-beaded gown, which I haven't taken out of the box in a very long time. And I don't know what condition it's in, but I'm afraid to take it out. So you get the second wedding dress instead. Cheap wedding dress.
Well, congratulations.
I think this dress was like $120.
I'm throwing birdseed. I guess you throw birdseed. I'm throwing birdseed. Felicitations your way, and you fit so
Thank
wonderfully
you.
in it. Good job.
Yes, still
as a runner.
Right.
I feel terribly underdressed, but I did wear a shirt.
Oh, what do you have?
This is I got this at the space launch.
That's in honor of the trip that Greg and I took to Florida together.
Yeah, when we did for Speaking of Tech, when we went for the SpaceX launch, I can't even remember which one that was now, but it was the first one where they actually successfully landed.
Where it landed.
On the pad. And we were there for it. And I just remember we were outside watching the rocket take off, and then everybody scrambled to another room. And I asked Sarah, I go, where'd everybody go? And she goes, they went over to the, I think it was a control room of some sort. And
it was just a meeting room. It was just a big, like, conference room, giant conference room, but they had all these monitors up on the wall, and they were watching on the screen, the control room at SpaceX. So they had that up on the screens in that room.
That's right, because the control room was actually in California.
In California.
Right.
And then everybody went insane when that thing landed on the pad. I mean, Greg and I were just in the middle of a bunch of people who lost their shit. And we were both like, oh, this was another thing that was supposed to happen. Like, neither of us were really
we didn't know what was going to happen. And apparently Elon Musk was in the next building or the next room over or something like that. And I think we asked my buddy Jason if we could get over there and see him. He goes, yeah, no.
couldn't get him on the pod.
Couldn't. But we ended up with that guy, Bigelow.
The hotel guy. Yeah. He was weird. His whole family was weird. They had like a weird, that whole like family run business, the Bigelow business. They were all like super creepy people. Like Bigelow made his name and his money doing like chain hotels in Arizona. And then, and now he's creating like living spaces for Mars.
These inflatable living spaces, which look really cool, but so disconnected. I mean, I think he was thinking about hoteling in space as part of the project of this. I mean, they were nice to us. It was just, the whole thing seemed odd.
It was all very weird. And the daughter was super weird. Do you remember her? She was just like, and then I ended up following her on Instagram and getting really creeped out by her and her whole family, and I had to unfollow them all. Oh. It was like a weird family cult.
Okay, I didn't follow it. I know they were all from Utah or something, or Nevada.
Yeah.
This was the Bigelows?
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't they just shut down?
Did they?
Yeah.
Bigelow Aerospace?
Yep. Pretty sure. I was like, oh, Greg and Sarah know those guys.
Well, I wouldn't say we know them. We interviewed them. But
we know him like we know Werner Herzog.
Yeah.
But that's where my buddy Jason, who at the time worked for NASA, got us in, and he was the one that invited us down there and the whole thing. And that's where Sarah, the night before, we went out with all the rocket scientists to karaoke. And I was telling Jason, I'm like, dude, don't you have to like a rocket to launch tomorrow? And he's like drinking beer and everything. And I'm like, don't you have something like more important than this to do tomorrow? And he goes, the hard work's already done. I'm like, what are you doing? Just pushing a button?
Right. Once you get to the night before, you better have all your ducks in a row already. I don't think you're going to be pulling it all. If you're have to pull an all-nighter before a rocket launch, there's something terribly wrong.
Nothing about that sounds good.
But the karaoke, the bar was cool. The people, the rocket scientists we were hanging out with were all very nice and cool. And it was just a good, unexpected experience.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a beach bar. You walk out the back door of the bar, and you're on the beach. And they had sort of like hammocks and stuff out there. And it's just south of the launch pad area, just south of JSC. So it was just an area of the beach where people would go anyway to watch shuttle launches and rocket launches. And that whole town, like the whole setup of that part of Florida, where they're all really kind of very proud of what's in their backyard, and signs everywhere, churches and supermarkets and grocery stores and gas stations that all had launch signage up and good luck, and it was sweet. It's a cool part of Florida. I mean, there is no cool part of Florida, but it was a nice little cultural pocket of Florida, I guess.
But Jason, our friend who helped arrange all of this, he and I are fraternity brothers from way back. He left. He got sick. He was like the highest ranking civilian in NASA, and ended up leaving NASA to go to Woodside Technology in Australia and moved his whole family to Perth. And now he's living the high life. He's got like this beautiful house with a pool right on the ocean, and posting barbecue pictures every day. I should have invited him to this potluck, damn it. But it's also like 2 in the morning.
It's never too late.
I think it's like 2 in the morning right now.
Yeah.
Jason, your connection, your wireless or something is really off.
I'll swap it for now for something else.
Yeah, I don't even understand what you said.
Sounds like
I'll swap it for something. I was reading his lips.
Yeah. So let's go back to Brian real quick. So Brian, you're in Afghanistan. You're a contractor. You do a lot of stuff with Cisco. We were just asking you about, what the best part or the worst parts of being over there. What? And I know we want to be careful not to ask you too much information, but what are some?
You
of the
can ask whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay. You may not answer. I'm just trying to be respectful. So what's the coolest part about being over there that you can share with us?
I'll get back to you when I figure it out.
Too many. That goes with it is cool.
I was going to say the weather. Just kidding.
Have you been to Phoenix during the summer?
Is that what it's like in the summer, or is that winter?
Yeah. No, that's the summer.
Wow. And how long of a flight over there is it? Are you flying through like Germany or something to get over there?
It's not direct. Everybody goes to El Paso, and then usually there's a stopover in like New Hampshire somewhere, or somewhere in that neck of the woods.
Some obscure airfield.
Yeah. And then either Ireland or Germany, there's another stopover. And then you go to Kuwait, and you're in Kuwait for anywhere from a few days to a week. And then you go to Afghanistan.
Wow. What an experience, though. I mean, something to tell your grandkids about someday, maybe?
If I did anything memorable, I'd tell them. But I mean, it's like my grandfather. He was in World War II, and he was in France for a year and a half, and he just has one story. Maybe other stuff happened, but an Irish guy goes out and has too much wine and gets into trouble. That's the one story he just kept repeating.
Wow. All right.
And
that's the one you can tell.
This is a dry country.
Oh, you can't drink.
Well, naturally, my entire thought about Afghanistan right now, beyond the, I'm hoping for everyone who is a resident of Afghanistan to obviously get things back to as normal as possible. But snakes, apparently there are snakes, because I had a friend who served and they put snake traps outside. Have you seen any snakes? Because my obsession with snakes, or rather snake's obsession with me. I am not the guilty party here. I do not go looking for them.
I haven't seen any snakes, but it's springtime and I've seen a lot of other little bugs crawling out.
Hopefully not ones that are out to get you. I know that's what they always say about Australia, is the wildlife is there to get you, but snakes are there to get me wherever.
These look like grasshoppers that took HGH.
So innocent.
All right. I'll tell you what, Sarah, Eddie, and Amy, if you guys want to carry on for a minute here, I'm going to go cook something up and bring it back. So I'll be right back.
What are you making, Greg?
Right.
It's a surprise.
Oh!
Oh.
Okay, so I put it in the chat, but I already opened a club soda and blew it up all over everything. So, yay. And then I popped the top on my Pringles.
Well, I failed to make kugel because the truth is I just don't really feel like eating kugel. And the thought of having an entire giant dish of kugel that I then would have to force on myself and my children was overwhelming. So I brought an orange to this podcast and a bottle of water. But I do have a secret stash of Reese's Thins, and I might break one out later just to be crazy. That's my story.
Oh wait, Vince. Yeah,
Cool.
I think you're right. I think it's Hot Pockets.
I just brought a bunch of liquid refreshment. You can't even see it because I have the.
Oh
You
my
put it in
gosh.
front of your head.
You
Yeah.
got Michelob Ultra? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of it.
I felt so clever. I packed my little cooler. I do have one beer in there because a lot equals 4. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the chats because Vince is making me laugh.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the chat's just as good as the, if not even better than the real time talk.
Well, that's the beauty of a podluck, right? It's got to be both the side conversation and whatever's happening live and on screen.
Yeah. By the way,
It's
I'm
like-
in the room right next to Brian doing my part of the podluck. If you can't see, there's
Doing army things.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So Eddie's got himself set up in the adjacent room just to keep Brian company.
So that's all the artillery that I hear when I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Blame
It's all
Eddie.
coming
Blame
from Ed.
Eddie.
Okay, there was this seems podluck relevant. What's everybody's favorite pandemic snack? I think it's like should be a snack that you don't typically get, but that you permit yourself to have in the house right now. Anybody?
Not
Dark
weed,
chocolate.
right?
Beaver nuggets, says Vince. I need to hear more about this. Vince.
Oh,
Fritos. Nice. The chili
Fritos.
cheese.
Fritos are good.
so that
They're
had to
good.
come in like a care package to you, right? Or did it?
Yeah, care package.
Nice. And
That's
I know
good.
there was an argument breaking out about I've never had Lay's stacks. Does anybody want to enter this Lay's stacks versus Pringles debate with us?
Yeah.
I just don't think there's. I mean, there can't. Well, I'll let you go, Mike. But I'm just gonna say right now, I never even need to eat Lay's stacks. There is no other stackable chip but the Pringle. The Pringle is the supreme stackable chip. Case closed. Like, stop trying. Like, all right, now you may speak, Mike.
when you go to the grocery store and almost everything is gone from the potato chip aisle except for Lay's stacks, you learn to like them.
All right, guys.
You take what you can get.
I'm here with my first course for the podluck.
Okay.
Amy, can I get a drum roll?
McDonald's?
White Castle sliders.
Oh my God. Okay, it ties in. Is that your pandemic snack of choice?
Yes. This is only the first course. I got more coming.
Oh.
So
You've
This
coursed it out.
is Greg and I. Greg and I in Florida. We after the rocket launch, we stopped in Orlando for a few days, and our first trip from the condo was to the supermarket. We both grabbed a cart. We each went our separate ways. I went and got bananas and like some avocados and I don't know, like tuna fish. Like I got like all this stuff, and then we met back at the checkout line, and Craig had White Castle sliders and like Hot Pockets, and I had all this produce. It was hilarious.
Hey, Greg, does
very different eating styles.
Does that mean in like half an hour you're going to be gone for the rest of the podcast?
well,
Eddie, this approaches my least favorite topic.
I'm gonna drop a pin.
Let's talk about pooping. I was actually thinking of going into the poop app to see if those kids are like dropping pins at their house just over and over again. Look at Amy. Just gotta
Amy's
talk
gonna
about it.
pass out.
Just gonna have a heart
Worst
attack.
app ever. Ugh.
The best. But I haven't been in to see what everybody's up to. But yeah, I
Amy,
think
you're a mom of two kids. How did you deal with them as kids?
Oh, that doesn't bother me at all, but I don't talk about it. With them, sure. But not on air in this kind of a conversation. Yeah, I mean, I have to pick up cat puke. I can talk about that, no problem. Like the bullet-shaped hairballs. It's like, wow, yes, that is the shape of your intestine. Good job, Kat.
Lonnie Dame.
Hello.
Hey, lady.
Hi, everybody.
Lonnie.
Hi.
Oh, Greg.
How's it
Hello.
going?
Hello. So we're talking about pandemic snack of choice. And Mike, you said honey buns. So those are still, okay. So the question is the snack of choice available in the store, which is a fine question, or do we all pivot to go with what's available? Because Chapel Hill is very weird. So Pringles are constantly available. I've had no Pringles shortage. but like all the Cheerios are gone right now. Like all of the Cheerios. And there's 87 flavors of Cheerios right now. All of them are gone. And there's like 4 brand cereals left and tons of Lucky Charms and Llama Loops, which I was really tempted by the Llama Loops just because they're llamas. But then they said they had sparkles in them, and that seemed like a really bad choice. I know. Now that's Eddie's face. That brings
And
a
that's
whole
the
new
only
thing.
weird thing about Chapel Hill.
Yeah, there's just that.
Well, you can be a unicorn and shit sparkles all day long, right?
See, I knew you were going to go there. Nobody wants to put sparkles on the map.
You don't.
Kudos to Eddie on that green screen.
Quick pivot
Very
there.
nice. White Castle. Lonnie, what's your snack? What's your pandemic snack of choice?
Oh god. I'm at a point right now where I feel like I need to find new snacks. Because everything I've had, I'm just so bored of. And so it's been like chips, it's like Easter candy. Like hummus and all of that. But I'm like, I'm bored now. I'm totally bored. I need ideas, so share ideas.
That's
Well, apparently honey buns. We should all be looking at honey buns, reconsidering honey buns.
I like that for its like it's shelf stable. It is a childhood for me. It was oatmeal cookies, like the cream filled oatmeal cookies, because you would.
Oh yeah.
I grew up on a farm, and so you would get a snack that you could open and eat without having to touch it. And it was like a big treat if you're.
What are those oatmeal cream pies, right?
Yes, oatmeal cream pies or the raisin ones. I like raisins, so that was like a
okay.
huge controversy if you were oatmeal
it's
or
the
raisin.
best because nobody will eat them, and so you have it all to yourself.
Yes, because my brother hates them. So yes, that is true. Baby sister move, right?
Yeah, there are plenty of Little Debbie's around town that are left. Of course, a lot of the raisin ones, since I don't think that many people eat them.
No, just me and Eddie, apparently.
All right, let's go around the horn a little bit here. Vince Wood. Vince I think this is the first time we've met. How are you?
I am well, sir. I am here in Houston, Texas. I have no shortage of any snacks whatsoever. There are 6 grocery stores within 5 minutes of my neighborhood. And I go for the stuff that actually does expire and grow mold if you don't cook and eat it. So I haven't had any problems finding snacks.
What's your favorite?
I like to make open-face sandwiches.
Ooh, tell me more.
Lately has been pastrami and provolone with sauerkraut on toasted sourdough.
Hey, hold up. I'll be back in like 3 hours.
You gotta make a try.
Like, you had me until the open face part of that. Like, how do you deliver that food to your mouth without getting it all over your hands?
Fork and knife?
There's these utensils that we've come to use in everyday life that some have little on them, and then some have blades.
All right, but then, like, is it really still a sandwich, Vince? Can we call it a sandwich?
That's why it's called open face sandwich. And there's no ND in it. It's MM, sandwich.
Sandwich.
Oh. Got it.
Because otherwise it'd be like avocado toast, but it'd be like Reuben avocado toast.
It looks like Jason's back and he's eating something, and it looks like he's got a wired connection. Let's see if this works better. Jason, what's your food delicacies right now? You got to unmute.
I can do this. I'm a trained professional.
Yay! You don't sound like a Floridian bird now.
Yeah. Sorry about that. It was working fine upstairs. So my favourite delicacy is an Australian one, which I order care packages, and of course with coronavirus, it's now stranded somewhere, who knows where, which is Vegemite sandwich. Which is revolting. I've given it to all my US friends, and everyone hates it.
I actually had it when I went for a VMUG, and we liked it. We were trained in how to do it correctly.
Yeah,
and,
there is a way to do it.
You got to spread it thin, right?
Yeah. It's a little bit like how much wasabi or hot English mustard would you put on your meat? You know, that's how you should treat Vegemite if you're not accustomed to it. And the interesting thing is, it needs a high salt bread, which with low in sugar, and a high salt butter. And you've got to toast it. And without those two things, it tastes terrible.
Yeah, it's almost medicinal, but I'm into like really iron-y tasting things because yeah, I had a whole conversation on how to cook chicken livers with somebody on Facebook the other day. So
It's a good ingredient for gravy as well, and the Japanese chefs love it because it's that, what's that other sense?
umami.
Umami. That's it. It's umami. Yeah.
Wow. So what do you got on the grill right now?
So yeah, I did some burgers, and the kids were screaming at me before. It was just as well I was on mute. They're like, "Dad, we're hungry." So I just ducked inside, and so yeah, just burgers today.
Oh, and what part of Florida are you in?
I'm near Destin.
Okay.
So yeah, we're in the Panhandle. So I'm not down in not down in the boot. We're probably closer to Mobile and Pensacola. So yeah. It's funny. I heard you talk Brian talking before about the artillery. We live near an Air Force base, and they do bombing 2 days a week on a range nearby, and you don't hear it, but all the windows in the house shake and all the doors shake for about an hour or two in the morning, and it really scared the heck out of me the first time it happened. So wow. I thought it was an earthquake. So yeah, it's beautiful here.
I get the sense we should probably do that to Florida more often.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, the deep south parts of Alabama are only about half an hour's drive from here. So
if one goes stray, not a big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's really bad because a year after Hurricane Michael, and there's still blue tarpaulins on houses everywhere when you drive around through Mexico Beach. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're still trying to claim the insurance, or maybe they didn't have any. I don't know. So wow. Yeah, but it's great here. We're kind of up in the trees, so I don't know if you can see. We've got this little
that's
balcony.
Awesome. Makes you in a zip line off your back deck.
Yeah, that's a good activity for summer now that we had to cancel our trip.
Yeah, just bring Costa Rica to you.
Yes.
Mike, where are you out of?
I am out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Okay, so I saw Tennessee on the shirt. I wasn't sure, but
yeah,
you could have been just a fan.
No, I'm actually like the farthest thing from a UT fan. I own this shirt because somebody gave it to me.
That's awesome. You live there. You're not like an occasional fan. You're just like, hey, I got a free shirt, so I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah. I actually work for the University of Tennessee, and I'm still not a fan. It's not that I'm a fan of anything else. I don't like sports in general. So,
sports ball, yeah, I'm with you there. Greg invites me to fantasy football every year, and actually you invite me, and then it auto invites you back. And I'm not a big sports baller, but last year I won the fantasy football again.
I think
You're not blinded by too much research, or you're like, oh, that's a pretty color. I like that word.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like folks like Luigi are probably like they're like sitting there like analyzing stats and numbers and paying for analytic services, and I'm just like, shit, he's injured. That's not going to work out too well.
And seriously, Eddie's interest in this is I've got to email him or text him like 5 minutes before the draft. I'm like, dude, you know there's a draft today, right?
You didn't have to do that this time. I was on a plane, wasn't I? I was headed to Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're like, it doesn't matter, huh?
Plenty of time to think about it on the way to Australia.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. So I just told Greg, I'm like, well, people might not be too happy, but I'm putting it in auto draft because I'm going to be on a plane. And then Greg is like, yeah, I'm not going to be on it either. It's an auto draft. So it's nice.
You ended up winning it.
For you. Yeah, I did. I didn't think I was going to. It was a rough season, but I do not follow. Like, I think I'll turn on some of the games as we get closer to more competitive things because I want to know if I'm going to win, right? But other than that, I'm not a big sports ball person either, Mike.
And this, I'll tell you, just if anybody's curious, it's a tech industry league, and if you guys want in, ping me, let me know. Every year we get a couple people drop out, a couple people that join in, so there should be space for more people if you guys are interested in fantasy football. I think Vaughn Stewart's in it, Luigi, Michael Leshin. Who else was? I forget who else is in it, but.
See, I get invited to the other football fantasy leagues all the time. And then I'm the worst at it. Like, I love this. I love to watch and play soccer, Not kickball. Don't make me call American football wrestleball, as my girls refer to it. Nothing to do with the
It's
feet.
actually not wrestleball. I mean, it's wrestle ball.
It is like wrestleball. Yeah. I can't watch American football. That is just like a snoozer for me.
So I gotta ask, and we're kind of stealing a little bit of Mike's part here, but is there a lot of analytics that goes into football, like your fantasy football
Yes.
stuff?
Soccer.
It's insane. It's so competitive. And so all my British friends are like, oh, Amy is obsessed. She'll love this. And I am so bad at all the fantasy stuff. I don't understand. I don't play it right. I don't guess right. I'm just like, it's the worst. It's the worst. And so I'm like, this isn't fun. I have enough trouble like playing the game myself. I need to spend the time focused on that, not trying to figure out who's going to win or how to beat the system. I don't get it. Like, I don't get the whole, to your point, Eddie, I don't get what all is behind it. And I'm not curious enough on that topic. I'm curious about other things, like,
Right.
well, innumerable other things that aren't that.
Lonnie.
Yeah, I've never understood fantasy sports in general. I did participate in a what is it called? March Madness, the college basketball
That's
tournament.
like the classic.
Yeah, I participated in a bracket system once, and I didn't know anything about basketball either. But what I did was I looked up all of the team logos, and I picked the team logo that I liked the best for each matchup, and I won the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Wine by the labels. I love this approach.
See, Greg, Mike and I have some method to our madness.
Yeah, you should document this stuff. Lonnie, what are you doing in your spare time?
So I don't feel like I have as much spare time as everybody's talking about, number one. So I find it interesting where everybody's like, oh my God, I have so much more time. And I'm like, I don't feel like
These days, I absolutely don't. I was working right up until 10 minutes before this started today. But what do you do when you do have spare time? What are you doing?
I do have a little bit more. So I picked up doing some more of my painting. So I'm I don't know, blooming artist or whatever. I really enjoy painting with acrylic. So that's one of the things I've been doing more art. So taking the time to do that.
That's
Good.
very cool.
Anything we can buy on eBay?
Not yet, but I'm like, I could flash one up of where in progress.
Well, yeah, sure.
All right, hold on a second. Y'all can.
I've been hanging with Keith Townsend in my spare time, just to let you know.
Hey, I'm glad Keith was able to join us.
Good to have him represented.
And
Yes,
why don't
Brian?
you interview Keith while Lonnie is pulling up her artwork?
Brian's trying to hop in and say something, Greg.
What's
While
that?
she's looking that up, I played fantasy baseball in 2009. I did not do very well because I drafted the 2004 All-Star team. I was like, oh, these guys were really good. Oh, 5 years ago.
And I think fantasy
Every-
That's not how that
baseball.
works.
I think fantasy baseball has got to be like, if I think of a reason to watch a sport, everybody I know who's a baseball fan is like a massive statistics fan. So I think of that one as like the most like complex, like you really have to know your numbers, and like they're complicated and sort of odd in my opinion. I mean, I played softball growing up, but I don't know. There's so many statistics and they're all like derivative of this and average of that, and they're complex.
And
Yeah,
when-
I really got out of that after I graduated from college. So
and I still want to see you interview Keith there for a minute.
So Keith, wait, I don't even know if you can you look like you're turning towards the
Yeah,
person?
yeah, it's pretty believable. Yeah, that's pretty
Got it.
believable.
Hey Keith,
Hold
how's
up
it
your mic.
going? What are we doing this week as far as interviews?
Well, Eddie, I can do a good Keith voice. I can sort of kind of hear it in my head.
Keith is going to think we're punking.
You all
but we're-
from here from Chicago.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Keith is
good.
gonna think we're punking him, but we're not. We're just having fun.
That's right.
No, we love you, Keith. I mean, it's weird that he's not here, honestly, because, I mean, you know,
He's
any
everywhere
gathering of exactly. You can't escape him.
All right, Lonnie, do you have some artwork for us?
I do. So I'll share a little bit. This is one of my smaller pieces.
Yay!
Ooh,
Show and
nice.
tell. I love it.
weeb alike. And I'm working on a lot.
So are you working in? Are those acrylic, Lonnie?
Acrylic.
What are you working with?
Yeah, I work in acrylic because I feel like I can do a lot more with it, and vibrant colors because I'm a vibrant color type of person. And this is my work in progress.
Oh, cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah, I don't have all my lights on, but otherwise the lighting would be better. So yeah, that's.
Eddie wants that digitally for a screensaver when you're done.
And then and then coloring, because coloring is also the new thing to do during meetings. So if you're not doing it,
see, but
that's pretty.
All right, I'm gonna have to quote my daughter, who is a left-hander like me. And I've never been a good colorer. Someone said I can't stay inside the lines to save my life. And she had this kindergarten teacher that was quite strict. She came home one day, in a good way, but she came home one day and she's like, Mama, I'm never going to get into Harvard if I can't color in the lines. She's like, and I'm like, that kind of describes many left-handed people's experience with coloring, I think. Because it's like, yeah.
That's all right. You can color outside, which I have another one that's like, all I did was color. Like if I were to try to color in these lines, that would be crazy. So I just did color blocks.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah, you don't have to be
cool
all in it.
Is that picture called Sad Panda? Like, is there a name for that?
No, that's Greg's picture, Eddie, right now.
Well, so if you
Greg
followed, it's this blogger called The Blogess. And she,
I like the blogger.
Yeah, so she draws these and then makes them available. I actually have her coloring book too. But she draws them and then makes them available for people to print out and color and whatnot. She has some really funny stories. So if you're not following her, she's hilarious.
Cool.
I'm gonna put it.
So this is my other obsession. Well, Greg, do you want to talk about that? My other obsession that I've joined, the 2000s called, and they want their technology back.
Are you using that on your VDI session, like while you're doing VDI?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just double checking.
And I'm gonna what was it? You used to have things you contact. Remember, you tap things. Remember when you had a phone? Was it the phone or the Palm Pilot? What was that you tap it? Do y'all remember that? It was
well, for payments.
You used to be able to tap iPhones together to share contacts. I don't know if you still can do that, but
didn't Windows Mobile have that for a while?
Or it was a bump thing, or it was oh gosh, I'm trying to remember. BlackBerry, there was something. It was some form of contact exchange, and that was its little shtick as you tapped the.
Yeah, there were
device.
apps out there for it that just sensed the movement of the phone plus the GPS coordinates and figured it out. I thought you were actually going the slap band. I thought you were going to do the.
I did that was a great moment. Many years back, I made a swag thing that was looked like a strip of bacon. It was the way to get into a V bacon, and it was a slap bracelet, and it was shaped like bacon. That was a pretty great moment.
Nostalgia for the win.
Amy, do you shake your wrist to make it look like you're walking more?
I last night, just to annoy my girls, yes, I was throwing my arm all over the place just to try to get the step count up, which they were most indignant about. But I think it's on to me.
Oh, look, Sarah put on the mink.
Oh yeah.
I got cold. I'm sorry. I just was a little chilly in this dress.
So Amy, my mom is all about. She's all about.
No, keep the mink on.
It's not a mink. It's just a blanket. But if you want to think it's a mink, that's fine.
Tells you how good my eyesight is.
So Amy, my mom's all about the steps, and I'll catch her. I'll call her. Sometimes we'll have a late conversation, or if she's visiting, and then she'll look at the clock, and it'll be 11:45, and she knows the day's getting ready to cut over. So she'll stand in the living room and just march in place for 15 minutes, so she can claim that she got her 10,000 steps or 15,000 steps for the day.
I have been known to run the stairs in my house. I'm not afraid to game the system.
Yeah,
so
but
I think
running the stairs is different.
Running the stairs is actual exercise.
She's just doing this, in the living room.
Yeah.
If you're doing high knees though in place, I mean, I would count that.
She's not even doing that. She's doing
the system.
Yeah, no.
Wait, hold on. I need to do a full stop here. Jason, what are you drinking there?
Drinking Miller.
Oh,
It's Miller time.
okay. You should go mute yourself again.
Sorry. So, I'll tell you a quick story. We were going to my wife's Christmas party, and we have light beer in Australia, but light means low alcohol. And I was driving home, so I drank like 8 Miller Lights, thinking that they were light beer. And I got pulled over by the police, and I said, "Oh, don't worry, I've been drinking light beer." And he looked at me like I was a complete idiot.
It's not even a lager either.
Did you
I
get a
got the
DUI
fine.
or?
No, I got a ticket, but I didn't get DUI. It was over like 6 hours, so he thought I was all right.
All right. That's really funny. You thought it was low alcohol, not low calorie.
Yeah, I learned. He told me. I play the dumb Australian.
That's amazing.
But it's I thought maybe something interesting like an Australian beer, like a Foster's Lager or something, but clearly not.
No, we hate that.
That's just as interesting to Jason as Miller is to us.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, people go to Australia like, "Hey, Jason, man, look, I really want a Foster's," and he's probably thinking like, "Why do you want that garbage?"
It's like Germans and Heineken. Like they're like, "What?
Right. What are you ordering?"
Well, and I just learned that what I think of as the classic Indian beers that you would get like at an Indian buffet. Like Kingfisher, Taj Mahal. They don't actually, it's not the same stuff that they sell in India. So it's similar to Budweiser here that we, like Budweiser in England is very popular, but so different than Budweiser here. And Kingfisher and Taj Mahal, like all my Indian friends are like, not even the same thing that, is there. That's what I need my tracker to, I can track all that stuff too. Not really. So yes, I went with a Fitbit because I am from 30 years ago, but I also really hate things on my arm. I'm left-handed. I can't stand things on my right arm. I found out completely. And but I'm curious because I'm a terrible insomniac. So I got it to try to watch my sleep and see if I can get better sleep. And because now I'm a runner, I get to say that because Sarah Double Dog dared me. Not really, but basically Sarah throws things out in front of me and knows that I'm a baby sister who picks up bait. And I'm like, oh, maybe I can do that too. It's true, Greg. It's true. You've seen it happen.
Yeah, yes. I'm just surprised you're calling it out.
I have that level of self-awareness.
That's what you just
So it looks like somebody else has joined us. Josh. Josh who?
Hi, everybody.
Josh has joined us, but I don't see him. Why don't I see him?
I don't see him either.
Oh, because his video's off. That's why.
Are you going incognito on us?
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yay.
Sorry.
Hey, Josh.
Hello.
I know that, Josh.
I know.
I do too.
I know you
I was
all.
like, which Josh? That Josh.
There are.
What are you eating, Josh? First.
What am I eating? Nothing.
Yeah, we're sick of each other, so we want to hear about you now.
Oh, no.
What did you bring to eat? What's new in your life?
That's true. When somebody comes mid Podluck, you're really into their snacks. It's like other people's fries. They always taste better.
I am not eating anything right now. I'm sorry. I had a bit of a morning, so I didn't have time to prep, but we are going to get takeout tacos tonight from Taco
nice.
Deli, if you're familiar.
Nice.
I was about to say,
it
better be local.
What's your go-to taco from Taco Deli?
There is the Vaquero. No. That's Torchy's.
Good. That's Torchy's. No, that's.
They have one at Taco Deli.
Vaquero is Taco Deli.
Yeah. It's the one. It's the one with the strips of beef and the sauce and the peppers and the onions. So it's been a while, but they're open for dinner now for curbside pickup, which is great.
Yeah.
And
I noticed that.
And I'm meeting my 12-year-old's demands of wanting a breakfast taco. So they serve them at least on the weekends. They serve them.
I'm obsessed with Taco Deli breakfast tacos.
Yeah. We used to
I
get
like
them
Torchy's for dinner tacos. and lunch tacos, but Taco Deli for breakfast tacos. That's where I land
Yeah.
on that.
So
Yeah.
if I'm going to have a moment of sadness, the last time I was in Austin, Sarah took me to Taco Deli for breakfast, and I got the notice. My TripIt told me like my flight was taken off last night, and I had some tears because me and my eldest daughter were supposed to be there in person. So soon we will be eating tacos. I'm taking notes right now because I'm going to be eating all of these tacos.
Taco Deli, that's by you, Sarah. That's the closest one to me, right? By the domain.
There's one close to me. The one at Gracie Farms in Mopac, basically.
Yeah, that's the one that we use too, because I'm up north also.
See, Ed, I
Okay.
forget you're there. Like are you on the taco train? You don't talk tacos all the time.
So I mean, I don't know. I just go to like local places. I don't have a Taco Deli close to me because I'm a little bit further north than these guys are. So like, I guess Austin chain wise, the closest I can get is Torchy's, which is in Cedar Park.
I'm there for the queso. I will eat my weight in
homemade
Torchy's
Thai
queso.
tacos.
Yeah, Thai tacos. For sure. Those are a real thing. Actually, you know what's
Good
really
stuff.
funny is that there are very, very few Mexican restaurants in Thailand. It's very hard to find Mexican food there.
I can't imagine why.
Because they already have spicy good food, right?
Well,
So in Thailand, what are the other, like, what's the kind of, is there a cool cuisine to eat? You know what I mean? Like you know how there's crossover all the time, and now it's Craig, you're eating at the McDonald's in Thailand, so you're totally cut from this
participate in
conversation.
this conversation.
I mean, it's funny because everybody here orders pad Thai, but nobody in Thailand really orders pad Thai. But there are a lot of different like comfort dishes that are like noodle-based dishes and stuff like that. So Thai street
So what's like the most popular, do you think, or what do you see ordered a lot in Thailand?
KFC.
Right.
like, yeah, that's why. I mean, we try not to admit people like Greg into the country for the culture. Actually, we do enjoy Greg's money paying the different forms of entertainment in the red light district. That's pretty good.
Totally.
They're gonna have to move.
Zoinks.
No, I would say like street food, the common stuff is really things like noodle-based dishes. There's some, I don't know if like even fried rice is kind of a thing. I mean, it's like the things that you'll see that are normally ordered are either street food like fried noodles or noodles with broth. And then just different rice dishes with, pork or whatever. It's the thing about it is in Thailand is that you generally can make so many dishes based off of things like oyster sauce with different and basil leaves, like the stuff that you can order here. Those are common because it's simple to make, right? You can substitute a lot of different things. So,
Except I push pause on the simple. I'm learning how to cook Chinese food. I've made a couple of Thai dishes, and because I don't have culturally the background for any of that,
I think
it's like hours later.
I wish Grace Lee were here, but I mean, if you can stir fry, then all you need generally is like oyster sauce, soy sauce, and there's this sauce called Golden Mountain sauce, which is kind of like a crossover between like soy and something else. It doesn't taste as strong. But you have those, and you pretty much can stir fry. And basil leaves are helpful too if you like basil leaves. Not American basil, but Thai basil, which actually isn't really sold here. It's the stuff that you get here, even though it's labeled Thai basil, is not Thai basil.
Can you grow it? Like I have this.
You can. Like it's if you get on and Google holy basil, that's actually what Thai people make basil fried rice and basil chicken with. But anyway, so when you have those staple ingredients, that you can make pretty much anything. But I found the real issue is in being able to stir fry properly. So when you have a wok and you try to use your kitchen stove and you dump a bunch of chicken in there, what happens is that our little weak ass powered American ranges, unless you've got like whole chef style setup, like it saps all the heat. So what ends up happening is whatever protein you put in there ends up like all the moisture comes out of it. So then you start to boil your chicken and your beef that you cook. So you're kind of screwed. It's not really knowing how to make Thai cuisine per se. It's really being able to have a proper cooking setup with those like jet engine ranges that, people have. You got one?
I had to turn it down. I got a like semi-pro it's a complicated stove. I have a love-hate relationship with it. It's a dual fuel, blah, blah, blah. It's so shiny. But anyway, like I had to back off on the front burners, which were like 20,000 BTU, but they were 20,000 with attitude BTU.
Right.
I have a commercial hood, but we still turn a fan on to jet things away from the monitored smoke alarm, open a window and turn like this massive jet engine style fan over it. So I stir fry with a lot, like I have very long arms and I am using those tools at a distance and There's a reason why every kitchen in Thailand is outside of your house. Yeah, there's a lot of things here. Again, like, and I'm slow as molasses because I don't have any background. There's been no grandma or mom teaching me how to do this. And so I'm like, read the recipe again.
So Amy's looking to be adopted.
Yeah. Yes, I will show up.
Sarah is eating Reese Thins, and I can't wait for her to get chocolate on her fingers and wipe it on her wedding dress. And so for the latecomers, just so everybody knows, Sarah's
perfectly clean.
Sarah is wearing her wedding dress.
She's wearing
my wedding dress.
Wedding dress from number 2.
Was the shawl part of the wedding?
No, I just got cold, Josh, but I'll show you the whole deal.
Wait, and question, are Reese's Thins as good as Reese's Eggs? Because I think the chocolate peanut butter ratio on Reese's Eggs is perfect.
I think the eggs are better.
The eggs are better.
The Thins, I'm not sure calorie-wise how it breaks down.
These are related to the M&M like candy, or these are related to the cups?
The cups.
It's basically a cup, but it's just skinny, so three of the Reese's Thins are 170 calories.
I need to see one of these. Can you show me one of these things?
Okay,
Yeah.
while you guys are doing that, I'm going to go create my next.
You've got another course.
Cuisine. Is Brian Graceland or Malhoit joining us?
Malhoit was just finishing walking her dog. I haven't heard back from Gracely. I'll ping him again.
All right. I'm going to create course number 2, so I'll be right back.
So number 1 was White Castle appetizer course.
Before he gets back, I'm gonna fucking preview in the background what he's bringing. I'm gonna.
All right, Eddie's gonna make a guess and commit to it in a background. Oh, mini corn dogs. I think that is possible. That's Mike's guess.
Oh shit, that's probably a good guess.
Do you think he'll go sweet or I feel like he'll go savory. I don't think of Greg as like being a high sweets consumer.
Everything he bought, it was just everything he bought in that store. I cannot begin to tell you. It was like White Castle sliders.
I think it's Slim Jims.
Little sausage biscuits.
I think he's getting Slim Jims.
Meat and bread.
I'm not making Slim Jims my background for the record. But Eddie, if you would like to go for it.
Oh yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
I sense that a number of individuals on this call are of the group that anything that is easy to cook and super easy to clean up is a preference. Is that correct?
Like you've described America at this point.
I'm a pretty complicated cook, actually.
Okay.
I'm extra.
Amy, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So
I'm easy.
I have a friend who goes back and forth to China all the time, and he tipped me on to great food that takes about 3 minutes, 4 minutes tops to cook. And that is, go find your local Asian grocery store, go to their freezer section, and they have what some would call pot stickers, some call them lots of things, but it's meat and vegetables in a little dough ball that is frozen. You can go get about 20 different varieties of these and put them in your freezer. And when you're ready for food, you grab a handful of a couple of different ones, throw some oil in a pan, let it heat up, and it doesn't take but 3-4 minutes to cook. When you're done, pour the oil out, wash the pan, put it back on the stove. You're done. So if anybody hadn't figured that out.
I love how Vince includes the cleanup instructions.
That's how easy it is.
It's 1, 2,
Well,
3.
Then wash your pants.
My teenagers need that instruction, so I don't know who else might on the call.
It is such a good idea. I admit, so I'm new to the Asian grocery store and I get obsessed when I go in because I didn't know there were so many kinds of bok choy for one thing. And the produce section is so massive. And I need to try every pak choy, bok choy, mini bok choy, Hong Kong bok choy. I'm like, yes, So I'm throwing produce in my cart like it's Christmas. And then we made dumplings from scratch. Well, by we, I mean I instructed my offspring because that is an excellent activity to keep
Slave
hands
driver.
busy. Yes. Yes, also that. I'm teaching, Eddie, teaching.
Sorry, teaching moment.
But I'm definitely going to break and get some of the frozen ones soon because they are delicious.
Hey, my guess is on screen for Greg. I don't know how close I am. We're going to find out.
Okay, so...
Well, I don't have... It's cooking. So,
bitch. Dang
So I'm
it. Well, then
already
it's
wrong.
not Slim Jims.
Is it cooking in the microwave? Is that what we're calling it?
no room for details here. You'll just wait and see.
Oh, then it could be
heating up in the
queso.
microwave.
It could be queso.
Oh.
So Eddie's close because I think that's cheese and crackers there.
I got another
queso. Any queso using Velveeta is not queso, by the way.
Oh my God!
I disagree.
They actually have.
I'm in favor of Velveeta.
And if you Google
me too.
if you Google queso fresco, which I had reason to do because I made Cuban food this week, Velveeta pops up because they have a queso fresco. Whether it's
not
real
cheese.
No,
Amy,
well, I don't think it is.
Amy,
It says
do
on
you
the
have
box
food to
cheese
share?
product.
Delicious.
What's that?
Do you have food to share?
I just brought my Pringles with me.
That's it?
That's all I brought. But if I was doing this in real life, I would definitely make imperial rice because that makes enough. I just discovered it's like chicken and rice, like arroz con pollo, but even bigger, like big.
This is
Nice
my other
try,
guess.
Eddie.
That's my guess.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sarah's eating Reese's Thins. Jason,
I
anything else? Anything new on the grill? Are you? No.
No, we're done. I'll just eat the Cheetos.
Brian Keys, what are you snacking on over there? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Brian.
Just trying to stay awake at this point, but I have some Fritos.
Are we putting
Is
you
it
to
like
sleep?
now 2 a.m. already, or what time is
It's
it?
12:30.
12:30.
Do you have to work in the morning?
Yeah.
Are you working every day?
At my base, we are 6 days a week, but most of the people in my role are 7 days a week.
Wow.
I just work a few extra hours each day and get a day off.
Okay. I'll be right back. I got to go start. I got to prepare. It's not quite done yet. But I'll be
He
right
heard the
back.
beep.
You gotta get the thing out of the microwave. Beep, beep.
Trying
Speaking
so
of
hard.
cooking and cheese, have you guys seen this trend of making a grilled cheese sandwich but using mayonnaise on the outside of the bread instead of butter?
Of course. There's
I've
only
done
one
that.
way to do it with mayo.
I've never done it before. I just discovered it. I'm new to the party, and I tried it a couple of weeks ago, and it is incredible. It's so much better than butter. I will never ever do it another way again.
Because it spreads thin. It's a fat.
It spreads thin, and it's already ready to go. Like
It
you don't have
has
to sit
a
there and
higher-
wait for it to soften.
Higher scorching point, right? So you get even.
Right, exactly. So it goes. It's even and golden. It makes the bread like crispy, and the oil comes into the bread a little bit, so you get that nice glossy crispiness.
Like diner
on the
grilled
bread.
cheese.
It's not like greasy and gross, but it just is like perfect.
Go on.
And
What sort of
and
bread
it
do you use?
allows the cheese to fully reach its melting point.
What kind of bread is this?
Wonder bread.
I actually like the Trader Joe's. The Trader Joe's brand white bread is pretty good. I use that a lot. But whatever bread I have.
I'm a big fan of the grilled cheese, and I have tried those, and I enjoy it. I have been surprised in quarantine. The weirdest condiment we've gone through the most of is mayonnaise. Because that imperial rice I talked about is got mayonnaise in the recipe. We're using mayonnaise in all these random things.
And what mayonnaise and rice?
I know it sounds weird, but it's
Can you share it? Where is this recipe?
let me go find it and see if I can pull it up.
Online?
Yeah, it's so it's imperial rice. It's a Cuban dish. It's fairly simple. It's like a layered rice. And it's got some. It's like not saffron. There's a spice that I don't have that turns it a little bit yellow. And then it's got chicken in the middle, and then it's got mayonnaise in the rice that sort of keeps the grains separate and adds some fat to it. So
I'll be right back.
oh boy, the But yeah, mayonnaise, and also because I've been grilling salmon, and there's this great sauce you put on that. So like mayo is a fat that holds on to things that you can grill with and won't just destroy everything. So I'm going through gallons of it. It's such a weird. They're like shelf-stable eggs. It's mayonnaise.
Amy, is that spice you were
I love
referring to
mayonnaise.
garam masala?
It's not garam masala. It's like biljal. You can use turmeric in place of the to make it yellow, but it's not the one. Yeah, it's like some secret. I don't have a tienda here that's particularly good. So my friend is Cuban and lives in Miami, and so he's like, yeah, good luck finding that in your neck of the woods.
Well, you said it turns it yellow, so that made me think of one of like 4 or 5 different commonly found Indian spices.
Yes, in this case, turmeric is the one that we subbed.
Do you fry the rice a bit first?
You cook it in stock. So you kind of make chicken, you boil chicken and use that stock to finish the rice.
Oh.
And then you add in a little bit of this, and then you sort of make a sofrito with the chicken. So the chicken's like highly seasoned, and then it's like rice, chicken, and then more rice and cheese on top. And part of finishing the rice is putting mayonnaise in it, which I thought was super weird, but it was. My girls are pescatarians, and they ate this. We ate this when we went to Miami, and they were like, "Mom, try to make it." So we grilled plantains, and we made imperial rice.
That sounds like it's really common, because if you Google Hainanese chicken, there's something in Thailand that's similar to it, but it's basically a whole chicken boiled, then you use the stock, boil the rice, and then you put salt, but then you just make a dipping sauce for it. You don't do all the cheese.
But it's like a casserole. Yeah, this is like a.
Yeah, it still sounds
All right.
good.
I've got the second course here ready. Amy, can I get another drum roll?
Oh yeah.
Stouffer's mac and cheese.
Oh, Eddie, for the win!
But it's Stouffer's. It's not Kraft.
Stouffer's is the best.
Stouffer's is the best. I have a friend who used to take Stouffer's to potlucks. She's like one of those very high class Southern ladies, and she would cover it with extra cheese. And people would go crazy for this mac and cheese and say it was the best ever. And she's like, why mess with success? Just add some extra cheese on Stouffer's, and you've got a winner.
Woo.
It's the only, my grandmother is, Greg, a little hot. My grandmother is from Cleveland, and it was the only like frozen section food that my grandmother would buy, because of course Stouffer's is a Cleveland proud local company. But
Yeah,
she
Stouffer's
always
is
had
in Cleveland.
Stouffer's lasagna in her freezer. And to this day, that is the lasagna brand that I will buy if I want to get like frozen lasagna for the fam.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's the only lasagna that my kids will eat, even over homemade lasagna. It's
good.
Beautiful and frustrating. Yeah, it's great. Just give it. You have to prepare enough time. I think it takes like 75 minutes to cook in the oven.
Takes forever. Yeah.
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 Hey guys, Keith Townsend just noticed the tweet.
Oh, somebody took a tweet of Eddie.
We got to send him the link.
I took a screenshot of Eddie having Keith on and my having Kyle Ruddy, and Keith's already noticed it.
I'll add my picture of when I was talking to Amy, and I can interview her again.
Perfect. Let's look.
When we met at a V-Mug like 5 years ago.
I remember.
So he liked it, but he didn't comment on it.
Wait,
I
so
said
is
he
Keith gonna get
noticed
on?
it. I didn't say he said anything.
Yeah,
Is Keith going to get on?
I doubt it.
Ah,
I was going to say, we can send him the link.
Remember his feedback on this was that he didn't get it, what we were doing with the podcast.
Well, he did acknowledge that it was a show about nothing.
Yes.
What is there to
Well-
get? It's a bunch of nerds talking.
I think his comment was it has to be about something.
Apparently,
Oh.
he doesn't drink enough.
Vince for the blunt
Not
win.
enough of a sense of humor.
I don't know many conversations involving alcohol that have actually been about something substantial.
Right.
I think we're just admitting it. What is that, Amy?
This is imperial rice.
Oh.
Oh.
As a background, it almost looks like this, like, I don't know if it's like an explosion or maybe you're like in the universe and it's outside and like
She's inside something.
I know. I tend to take food pictures very, very close up. Let's see. Here's the like pre-oven.
Oh, those are your own pictures.
Yeah.
Like you macro lens the shit out of this thing.
Yeah.
That's
So it's
before
like
going
your-
in.
Yeah. There's the dish before. So this is a 13x9 and it is like deep. It's a lot of food.
How long does it last?
Me and the girls eating it.
2
We
days?
made it Wednesday. So we have one more serving left. And we've all like eaten it for breakfast and lunch. And it's a
our
lot.
kids would probably like that dish.
I will definitely send the recipe. I'm gonna do a practical cook blog on it. All right, I'll take myself out of casserole. I know, Cuban casserole. Who knew?
Cuban casserole. We're gonna try to make Belize chicken this week.
Belize chicken?
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
that?
I mean it's probably all the. I mean, we just know
Like
because
Caribbean chicken?
Yeah, but it's like Caribbean chicken with rice and beans.
Nice.
Like jerk style or?
No,
like,
it's,
how's it made?
there's this seasoning paste that apparently is used. I'll get it.
Belize chicken was when John McAfee jumps out of your food and aims a gun at you. All right, obscure reference.
Oh yeah, I see that all the time in the store, but I've never used it.
So apparently this is what's used to season the chicken.
It's like a
So
red
we know
paste,
that
some
it's
kind of red paste.
Oh, look at
Amy's here
Brian.
twice.
Brian's got what's his name behind him?
Chris
Yeah.
and Amy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Were you shooting a video there, Amy, or do you even remember?
That looks like
I haven't
Engineers
seen Chris in
Unplugged.
forever.
It was a VMUG down in Charlotte.
Yep.
Uh,
So that's Engineers Unplugged.
several years ago.
Was that pre-rubric or post-rubric or during rubric?
Pre.
I think it was Solid Fire.
Oh, Chris
I was
Wall
at
was a Solid Fire?
No, I was at Cisco. Chris Wall was at he was still independent then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember getting socks from you.
Yes, that came
The
later.
Solid Fire socks.
Yes, I still have some right on hand. You never know when you'll need them.
I am a big fan of tech companies giving out socks instead of t-shirts and doodads at conferences because you can actually use socks for over and over again for a good while. Whereas t-shirts, you have so many of them at some point that it's just, you just start throwing them away.
Yeah.
No, it's true. Solid Fire, it wasn't my idea. So I came there and somebody had found this company. It's a local Colorado company and they became kind of known for their socks. So we had fun with it and we would do version releases. So these were, I think, 3.0. And we would do like a white paper and a data sheet and even videos to help you do an in-place upgrade between your versions, etc.
Hey, were you doing videos of in-place upgrades of socks?
Josh Atwell did, yes. I'm very proud to say Andy Banta took on the technical aspects of the launch and did a fantastic job. It was incredibly detailed. And then Josh walked us through because he was, he's still at heart a hands-on technical person. So he helped carefully walk us through
How to change socks.
Yes.
I was just making sure we're talking about changing the socks and not the tech.
100%. With a complete straight face, right? With all the proper terms.
I got to find the video of this.
Yeah, you got to find Josh Otwell Solid Fire socks. Yep.
Were there ever service packs issued, or no? Just major version releases.
Major version
Firmware
releases.
upgrades.
Yeah, exactly. So we had 4 versions in total. So yes, once we figured out, and I was strict about it. People tried to be like, oh, we're going to do, partial release. I'm like, nope, we're on a release schedule. So we had an event every year in the spring and I held the version release every year for the spring of it.
You guys probably just did a redeploy, right? You're all cloud native. Like once the socks develop holes, you just do a redeploy. New socks.
The bug bounties were a bitch, though.
The amount of ideas that came in too, because it's like how many things. This was sort of like playing on Paisley, where we used Elio, but we had Argyle, we had just straight up red, we had gray with code. They did some pretty amazing things. So yeah, you got to go cloud native.
Found the
You got to
video.
have code socks.
Was there automation involved? Was there a particular, or was it all manual deploy?
It was lift and shift.
Well, yeah, the lift and shift was because the other good idea we had, we got those carnival machines, the claws that you get toys out. We got one of those. And so rather than just giving them to people then had to get it out with the claw to get their new socks. Which we learned a lot. I felt like a carny after that because those instructions, you can make those games impossible to win. I looked inside the belly of the beast.
You know, one of the things we talk about on the podcast quite a bit is what everybody's watching. And what if we were going to go around the horn and name one show that assuming that everybody's locked in on at least one show. I'll start with you, Brian, since you're out in the middle of nowhere. What's your go-to as you're watching video entertainment? Keep it clean.
I think we'll circle back to me.
Okay. Eddie, what are you watching right now? Has it changed from the last week when we talked about it?
It hasn't. I don't know. What have we been watching?
Westworld.
Yeah, still Westworld.
Still Westworld.
Ozarks too, because Ozarks came back on.
Right. Hey, Lauren just joined us.
Hello.
Hey, Lauren.
Malhoit.
Malhoit in the house.
How's everyone doing?
We're doing good, but so everybody that comes on new has to tell us what they're eating or drinking. I see coffee or something in the cup there. What do you?
And
what do you-
basically tell us whatever they can because we're sick of each other. So what's up?
Fair enough. I am drinking tea because it's not quite 5 yet. So, trying to adhere to self-imposed coronavirus rules.
So what kind of tea? Are you a black tea, green tea, herbal tea person?
This is a black tea.
Get specific.
I'm not even sure what it is. It is somewhat of a generic black tea. I know that much. But breaks up the water.
So you're in it for the caffeine in this case.
I am in it for the caffeine. A little late for coffee for me,
But more importantly, what are you eating?
What am I eating? I made buffalo chicken, like shredded chicken, roasted broccoli type of thing for lunch today.
I think she beat everybody.
I know. Lauren can flat cook. Greg has had White Castle and now he's having Stouffer's mac and cheese. He's having courses. I'm eating Pringles, so I can't really put my fingers.
I mean, usually I would think you would be.
I started with an orange and I finished it off with a Reese's Fens. That's my gourmet.
I like the balance there, Sarah. I think that's it's always good to have a balance, right?
So
Fruit
Lauren
and sugar.
Yeah.
And of course, we're always glad to see you and quietly judge together. But can we please meet your dog? Is she there?
She is here. My place is a mess, but I will show you anyway because it's COVID rules. Say hello to Hetty.
Hello, Hetty. Oh,
my goodness.
She is a handful today.
So
but she's
looks like
Hetty, are you being bad?
So this is the first time she's been good.
I know some of the backstory here, but Lauren is just before this all kicked off, I think you were meeting Hetty, and Hetty was a hard to adopt person, and Lauren decided to take this on because she doesn't have another dog in the house. She had all those things that make it able to place a complicated rescue. So they warned her coming in, and she has to do all these training things.
She hates other dogs. Well, anything really. Anything anyone's carrying or another animal. She has to wear a Hannibal mask at all times, which I joke is kind of great for social distancing.
It is great. I have a dog in the same camp. So this is, Lauren and I have bonded on this one. So it's great. It keeps people, it's a 6-foot leash, standard leash length, right? It really, you can measure.
Some people are just so dumb though. I mean, like they'll come up to her and she's not huge or anything. She's like 50 pounds, but she's all muscle and she's got like a beak on her, and they'll come up to her and try to start petting her. I'm just like, are you nuts? Like, why would you do that to a dog wearing a Hannibal mask?
Looks like Vince is bringing another dog to the party. We won't tell Hetty.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, it'll be crazy. So how goes things with your dog, Amy? You had some milestones.
Mercy Lynn managed to walk by 2 other dogs the other day without attacking, but then this puppy got all up in its beeswax, and she did, it can only be described as midair parkour. Like, everybody was so impressed. She's a 50-pound solid muscle, and she spins and did a backflip in the air and then landed it. And there's like froth, and so it really does keep people away from me when walking.
Awesome. Yeah.
So we had a little backsliding. She got excited because she saw a cat, and then she saw this puppy lunged at her, and then she was like, ah!
Right.
And then she came home and had some nature treats, some natural calming things.
Ah, very good. I've just gone right to prescription drugs for both of us sometimes.
Hey Ed, would you mind changing your screen back to the one you had before so I can take a screenshot?
Yeah, Ed, where are you sheltering? Are you in Indy, or are you wherever else you live?
I'm in Austin, and unfortunately, which one did I have, Greg? The cheese?
The Keith one.
Oh,
You want Keith.
Then I gotta move. Hold up. All right.
Cracked me up so much.
So
he was interviewing Keith earlier.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
awesome.
Everybody smile. I'm taking a screenshot for Twitter.
Greg, hold on. Let me put Kyle back.
All right, I'll wait.
Oh, are we still waiting? Should I not be smiling? All right, so I'll answer the question. We're kind of
Got it. All right, thank you. Go ahead, Eddie.
we're kind of permanently moving to Austin. So the kiddo, her mom, the kiddo decided she wanted to move in last August, and then her mom finally relented and said, "Okay, well, I guess I'm moving from Indy to Texas." So she put her house on the market 2 weeks ago, something like that. And by the way, I put my house on the market a week before she did, and hers sold within a day. So they closed in like a month, and she's been building a house down here not too far from us. So we're gonna hopefully permanently be moving. But like I said, there's been no solid bites for my house. So
Yeah.
After all dangling off the ceiling you did, or off the cherry picker, or whatever the heck that was.
yeah, I had a picture, but it's like showing up in landscape. But like that's kind of what that was part of what I was on. It was, let me see if there's another picture.
I'm still obsessed. I know y'all made fun of me when we did the podcast about this, but I cannot believe there's not some restriction for renting heavy equipment. Like, I have no
It's
business.
America, Amy.
Oh, but that's
Indiana.
crazy.
I was about to say, not in Indianapolis, especially.
Oh, like as if I should own a jackhammer, right? I should not be able to go rent something that's like, hold on.
Yeah. Oh, see, this is horrible. Like I wish I could flip it, but that was that's a horrible picture. I need to convert these pictures. But yeah, we were screwing with the chimney, and there's nothing that you need. I mean, you should obviously wear a harness. They just do.
You should always wear a harness.
Somebody's here. Arby's.
Hetty's like, I don't do that. I know. She's all showing off now.
Yeah, luckily I've got the
Thank you.
ear thing in, so she's not
She can
hearing
hear
the
it.
dog. I was
So,
watching
Lauren,
The
I
Garage
got her.
earlier, and she definitely got nervous about a dog.
They're way more bark than they are bite, obviously. The Amazon guy, it's funny because he hears them all the time when he drops stuff off, and one of them was hanging outside, and he was like, hey, wow, finally nice to meet your dog. I thought it was going to kill me the other day.
Boy. So, Lauren, do you have any dog training tips and tricks for us?
Oh, I don't know. She does do some cool things where if I tell her to go to place, she's got like a little cot that she has to just go to and stay there until I say free, which is nice. Like for Amazon deliveries or
Yes.
more likely food deliveries for me, you know me. But Other tips and tricks. I mean, there's always Leave It. We're working on Leave It with treats right now. Unfortunately, I'd started like professional training with her right when this hit, so they're not.
Are you able to
right
continue any, or
not just
remotely?
the same kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I didn't get the feeling that they were real tech savvy. they
Yeah.
were more dog people.
Dog savvy.
Very dog savvy.
Do they teach it like no maul, do not maul,
yeah. The no maul
Yes,
count.
right?
no maiming,
Exactly.
no maiming.
Exactly. We haven't gotten
I thought you
that
were talking about the
too.
shopping. I was really confused. Like, don't go to the mall.
That's exactly where I went, Sarah. And then I went to my last name, like Mal, and I was like, does it mean bad? What are we?
No, like no mauling of the
Yes.
of the peoples.
So
Yeah.
what is your pandemic snack of choice? You said you've been getting some food delivery.
You know me, I love a variety. I don't have a snack of choice. It's just I've been trying to eat healthy, and I've been trying to take this opportunity to kind of work out every day, do all of that. I do like one-on-one Zoom classes. Luckily, I'm, lucky enough that I can do those types of things and also help out like local gym people and all of that.
Oh, that's smart. So you're
yeah.
doing like the trainers you were working with before, but you're doing it virtually now.
Exactly, which is, keeps them at least, somewhat earning some money and keeps me accountable, because Lord knows I would not do it if I didn't have to report it to someone.
Yes, I'm publicly shaming myself, and mainly first to Sarah and now to everyone with my running updates. So
It seems like you're nailing it.
Only because I'm so ashamed that if I don't do it now, because I just back myself into a virtual corner.
You have to like wear one of those signs if you say, I didn't go running today.
Yeah. Yes. Sarah would put one on me, probably with Photoshop and publicize it.
Yeah, Sarah, you've been hitting it too, huh?
Yeah, I'm a few weeks ahead of Amy on this training plan, and I roped her into this nonsense, and now I'm forcing her to continue against her own will.
I keep telling my trainer, I don't do cardio.
I'm training for a 10K now, so which will be the first time that I will have been able to do that. But for whatever reason, something just like clicked for me these last couple of months. And I started before any of the COVID stuff happened. I started running, but I'm so glad I did because, for obvious reasons. But for whatever reason, all the other times that I've tried to run before, I've had lots of issues just like getting off the ground and getting some kind of endurance so that I could go further distances. But this plan in particular has changed all that for me. And like today I went out and ran 3 miles, which is something I've never done before, like without stopping. Yeah. So I'm feeling very excited, and like awesome. I can actually do a 10K. And then Carrie Ann and my daughter and I signed up for the half marathon, which last year we did the half, but we mostly walked it. And this year we're signed up again. And if they have it, I don't know if they will, but I think I'll be able to actually run a half marathon, which is very exciting for me.
That's amazing. I am impressed and jealous all at the same time.
Well, it's, as Amy said the other day, I can't remember how you put it, but like running favors consistency. How did you say it, Amy?
That's what, yes.
Running
that's what
rewards, repetition, something like that.
Yes.
It's so true. Like if you just commit to 3 days a week, it's incredible what will happen. But if you fall off the wagon, you're fucked.
That's my problem is I fall off the wagon literally the night before. And then it's like, do you really, running does not sound amazing. It doesn't do much for stamina.
Yeah, it definitely hurts you.
Lifting heavy things up and putting them back down again. That's really my wheelhouse.
So yeah, what is your training?
That's fun too.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Are you doing powerlifting?
I was before we went into shelter in place, but then they shut down my apartment's gym, and I actually had an Olympic weightlifting set at my old house, and then just sold it because I was like, I'm not gonna bring it to my apartment. I'm, regretting that.
That house is pretty amazing.
It was something to behold for sure.
It was very unique.
I'm so glad not to be there right now. It would be so lonely and isolating. I am so happy.
Yeah, like
that-
Lauren was like, it was like being in a mansion, and it's like just you there, and
Keep in
like
mind it's
all these
Indiana.
yeah, but I mean there was like nature all around, but it is like you could basically wear a bathrobe 24/7 and really fit into any movie with a weird recluse who is like like the aviator or something like that, because it was like, I mean, it wasn't like an enormous mansion, but it was a huge house there was an indoor swimming pool, right?
There was, yes.
Indoor swimming pool.
An Olympic lap pool, really.
Olympic lap pool. And it was like kind of nestled away. And, you guys got a deal on it when you bought it. And then
yeah, I sound real bougie. It's not that bougie.
Yeah. You guys got a deal. But it was just like, it was a house from the 80s with an indoor pool that,
Real 80s.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, it was. I would have been, I mean, the person appearing before you on this call would have been a totally different person had I still lived there. There would have been probably a bathrobe involved.
No, that's
and
true.
Crazy hair. And just like me with like a cigarette and like a Bud Light.
I was going to say like a bubble pipe.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm happy for you, Lauren, and your progress in the world, but I'm sort of sad that we don't get that Lauren on this call. It's pretty entertaining.
There are some nights. You have to schedule the call a little later.
We catch you in moments where you're still that Lauren.
We'll do Podluck late night.
It'll happen.
Amy's like, oh, don't do it. I've talked to her at that hour. It's not great.
My insomnia and Malhoit's insomnia, that's when all the good judging happens. So when we're ready to retire, we've already got our next gig set up.
We do.
Quietly judging the show.
Post on Facebook at some really odd hours, and you can almost see by the time of day that you're posting clearly at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. Somebody's not getting to sleep.
That's what my Fitbit's here to tell me. It said I got 6 hours of sleep. Six.
Oh, how do you know, Sarah?
Awesome.
I already admitted it.
Discussed it already.
Oh. I'm like, you're monitoring Amy. That's just creepy.
Yeah. I get the reports.
The sleep challenge.
All part of her fitness plan.
It's true. Sarah's like,
David.
Hello, David.
Hello.
Okay,
What are you
someone
eating,
new for the hot seat?
Drinking, or what do you're on the hot seat since you joined late.
Yeah, what'd you bring?
Yeah, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm spending 12 hours a day on Zoom calls for work. And then I seem to be spending my entire weekend on Zoom calls catching up with people who I choose to spend time with. And I realize it's basically just Zoom now.
Since I haven't offered anybody, if anybody's outside, I did bring bug spray, so I can offer that to
Phew.
I'll be right back. I've got to keep preparing my third and final course. 1 second.
Do you think
the Stovers?
Right. Do you think Greg knows where his actual stove is located, or just the microwave?
No, but we have to figure out what he's going to bring, because now it's like dessert time, right?
See, I don't think he eats sweets. Though I think it's fries.
Ever?
I think it's fries, or one of those like Stouffer's pizzas, or like you remember the kind with a tray you turn over and you make that round pizza. What brand was that? It was like it was in a small square box, and it was a round pizza.
Tater tots.
Totino's?
Was it Totino's?
Oh yeah. Oh,
but you flip the tray?
Totino's just comes in.
That's like $1.
You don't flip it.
There's no creativity.
This was like a micro.
Remember the lean cuisine, like when that has the foil top, kind of.
It was it just
technology?
Yeah, the technology. Yeah. That's a high tech pizza.
The pizza baking technology built in. To the
pretty much.
box.
I ate a lot of those in the 80s.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I won't eat a
don't
pizza
know.
unless it's DiGiorno's, honestly. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
So wait, question.
Go.
Is Nirvan eating White Castle like that he bought from the freezer section, or White Castle from White
freezer
Castle?
section? No, he's
Freezer
cooking.
section.
He's
Which
cooking
is better?
today.
I'm not sure which is better.
It all comes out the same speed.
Oh,
It's
stop!
Amy. It's okay, Amy.
Those frozen White Castle burgers are good if you steam them.
That's
They
the
actually
trick.
taste
Same
a
thing.
little.
Like,
Do you think he knows how to steam something?
No.
Oh, well, he's back. Let's see. Greg, what'd you get? What'd you bring?
Oh, it's still preparing.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
It is a pizza.
It's not a pizza. If it was a pizza, I could stick it in there for 2 minutes and be done.
I told you he doesn't know where his oven is. That's the...
You want to know if you're sauteing, steaming, pan frying, broiling? Which technique are you using to prepare whatever food it is?
That's a good.
He
David
won't reveal because every time he's worried if he reveals his cooking method, we'll nail it in 20 seconds.
Also,
okay,
Greg,
I'll tell you, it's a microwaving.
Okay, Greg, do you do any technique that isn't microwaving? I think David's got the good question. Do you know what steaming, boiling, or sauteing are?
How would you classify drive-through?
Driving is not a technique.
It's combustion unless you're using an electric vehicle. Absolutely.
Did we lose Lauren?
No, I'm here.
No, she's just changed squares.
Oh, who'd we lose? Yeah. We lost somebody. I'm trying to figure out who.
Vince had to take off.
Oh.
Vince had to go.
Okay. All right.
But everyone else is here.
That's like a classic response. Like that's one of the best responses ever. Are you familiar with the following 3 cooking methods? And how do you define driving?
Oh my God.
Drive-through method.
Yeah, that's a pre-cooked method. So all of Greg's food is fresh. The guy at McDonald's puts the burger on the grill for him, puts it in a bun, puts the cheese on it.
It's very fresh.
There you go.
That is one way of looking at it.
I got a Reuben last night from our local bar that is doing to-go orders.
So this is like things I know about people's travel habits. Greg goes to another country and eats at McDonald's. Lauren goes to another country and finds like the local butcher and somehow Airbnbs her way to like cooking this gourmet whatever in wherever she is. It's like between Malhoy and Nearman, I think we have the 2 extremes.
I mean, I will say I ordered like a Domino's pizza last night. I'm not fancy all the time. Depends on the level of sobriety.
Is that where you meet in the middle? Y'all meet at Domino's?
I don't know, Greg. Are you a Domino's
I had Domino's
guy?
for my kid. True story. Had Domino's for the first time last weekend.
First time?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Ever?
Normally I go to Pizza Hut.
That tracks. This all tracks.
And Domino's is the only thing that was open at midnight. So I ordered Domino's and you couldn't pick up. They had to deliver it.
Did you were missing your buttered crust?
Okay, I'm just going to go out there and say I love pizza. Like, I love pizza. If I had to eat one food forever, it would probably be pizza. But I was working on a buffet review site before all this stuff happened. And I went to a Pizza Hut buffet and I can eat some bad food. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I loved Pizza Hut, like canned pizzas.
Awesome.
I love buffets. I love them. The Pizza Hut buffet is the worst buffet I've ever been to, ever.
It must have been your local franchise, because
I think the only buffet you could ever eat at is like Fogo. Like, there's no other buffet that I would.
Oh, the all-you-can-eat meat.
I don't even love Fogo, honestly.
Huh?
I don't even love Fogo.
But I'm just saying, like, in terms of quality of buffet, like we did the last buffet.
Buffet's really more about quantity, though, Addie.
Like, I love all buffet. We have a local buffet that's like part Greek and part Filipino, and I think it's the best.
You know what? I just have to say, Old Country is wishing where all you guys were, because they fucking went out of business because you guys weren't around.
I would have.
David, where are you from?
I'm from Nottingham, England, but I'm currently in Houston, Texas.
Oh,
which must have been many.
Texas is very well represented on
contingent today.
Yeah.
The thunderstorms are rolling in.
So David's here, and then we did lose. We also lost.
Vince was in Houston too.
Oh, was it? No, it wasn't Vince.
Oh wait, no. Oh shit! What's wrong with my brain? Who was in Houston?
Too much running.
The guy that Greg
Too much
knows.
water. Too many pins dropping.
Or not that Greg knows. Who's the guy in Florida that
Jason.
Yes.
Jason's
Jason.
gone. So
lost Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
so-
Jason was in Florida. No, Vince was in Houston, wasn't he? Now
Right.
I'm confused.
Vince was in Houston, but my point being that, yeah, so there is the whole Texas thing, but it's interesting that David is from across the pond and in Houston, and Jason was really across from the other pond and in Florida. Like, is there...
Oh, bell's ringing. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, great.
I have so much insight into Greg's life now. I appreciate everyone joining us for this because I'm not sure.
Insight. There's a keypad and a start
The
button.
Grubhub deliveries here.
Yeah.
So, David, what's your pandemic snack of choice? We've been getting the input from everyone.
Wait, sorry, my pandemic, what of choice?
Snack of choice.
Food.
Are you eating any? What's bourbon?
I think that counts. Calories are involved.
Yeah, calories are consumed.
It's like a wheat product-ish.
You know that deal where when you're flying,
Carb and sugar.
normal drinking rules don't apply, right? So if you're flying, you can 9 o'clock in the morning, it's all fine. You can have a gin and tonic on the plane, 9 a.m.
Yeah. That's
See, I can't do that.
What is you can do whatever you want to do, Amy.
Well, I
That's why
guess. I'm strapped safely to a seat, but I still am like, oh.
Well, that's like when Lauren, when you were saying like I'm applying like quarantine rules, so I'm not drinking because it's not 5, and I'm like, fuck, this is the time to not apply the.
Yeah, those are not. I'm not familiar with those rules.
Well, I'm guessing you all still drink less than I do, so probably good for me to have guardrails.
This is
the plane.
This is my snack of choice. Not really my snack of choice, but my beverage of choice, the pernicious India Pale Ale. I'm an IPA person.
Lauren, this is about a marathon.
Oh my God. Eddie.
We're marathon. I'm a runner, guys. I signed
An
up for
ultra marathon, if you will.
and I'm going to be running. I also live.
It's an ultra marathon.
Yeah, that is well played.
So,
okay, Greg, what is it?
My food is ready here. And this is a tribute to our Nordic friends who are not joining us.
The Denmarkians.
Nordic? What is this?
Well, Nordic. I didn't say Denmarkian.
Is it fish?
Meatballs. Stover Swedish meatballs.
IKEA style.
Wait, are you going to eat them on toothpicks like a fancy person?
No, because there's noodles in there too. So,
Greg, what were you? What
get a
were you
little
going to bring to
cranberry
the potluck?
sauce
Like
for
the
the
real
side?
potluck? I want to know. Like,
what was I going to bring to the? I said the Corona beer, but when.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. I thought like food wise, I was wondering if you were going to drive through the KFC drive through and show up with a bucket of chicken.
That would be a good idea.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea.
It's not. Or chips or whatever.
And then
here's food.
That is true, David. He did indicate driving was a food prep technique.
Main method of cooking.
Other people talk about sous vide, but he talks about SUV. It's like, practically the same. Thank you, Molly.
How are the meatballs?
Oh, yeah, good. Hot too.
I love it.
That.
How many times you've done this before, Greg? You still burn yourself on your microwave dish?
All the time. Because I always think, it's been 2 minutes. It's cool enough.
Oh. This is amazing.
Wash it down with a Diet Coke.
I mean, I have to say, Greg and I probably meet there as well. I probably burn myself on food every day. And it's not that, like, I don't know it's hot. I'm just like, I just really want it. I just really want it in my mouth. Yeah.
Gotta have it.
Get in my belly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should be nervous, but my 14-year-old daughter just texted me to say bourbon was her favourite snack too.
Wait, is she watching on YouTube or just listening outside the door?
One of those two.
Yeah.
You're European. It's fine, right?
She's only 12. What does it matter? It's okay.
Uh-oh, he's going to pull out the can of whoop ass. All right,
guys. So I'm here from my place
Taco
of
Bell.
employment where Greg recently stopped by. No, Greg, where does Taco Bell rank on
I
your
want to
scale?
say my kids ordered Taco Bell the other day and did not ask me if I wanted any. and I was incredibly upset when it came, and there was nothing for me.
Okay. If you get Taco Bell delivered, how much do you end up tipping? Because how much can you possibly spend at Taco Bell? I have so many questions.
I don't know. You put it on a favor app and you let the favor app figure it out. There's some percentage locked in there. So they probably tipped 10 or 15%. I'm tipping high for delivery people right now just because.
Me too.
Same.
These times suck.
Also, I make them come up to my apartment door, and I'm like, I'm not coming down to meet you.
What,
So
how many floors are you? Yeah.
I'm on the 18th.
Oh my. Well, hopefully there's an elevator involved.
Yes.
Lauren,
yes,
what city?
I'm in Indianapolis.
What a beautiful view.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a better one, but I think the sun's like right in the bad part, so.
Yeah, I went back to, because my family's in Indianapolis. I went back about a month or so ago, kind of right before all the shelter in.
Yeah.
I haven't been back in years. I drove my husband around downtown, and he's all like, there's the nice buildings, but he's like, yeah, there's nothing here, comparing it to like Austin.
Right.
Like nothing to do. But I'm like, at least it looks nice. Like,
that's
it's
right.
got something.
The one comment I've always made about Indianapolis is I think the richest person in Indianapolis is the person that sold the stoplights to the city, because every intersection has a light. And even if there's no traffic, it takes you forever to get from one side to the other side just because of the way the lights work.
It does.
I will say it's the worst driving city I've ever lived in. Like, no one who knows how to drive. Yeah.
Pretty true.
So just because I need to brace myself for what may come next, I know that Sarah came with her big app of the week, and I fear what I'm going to have to do next.
Yeah, we've got 9 minutes left. So Sarah, what's your big app?
So I didn't prepare one. I forgot. But let me quickly look at my phone, and I will tell you a good app of the week.
You told Sarah was like, maybe I can pull this out real quick, and then I was just like, nope.
I know. Or do we have karaoke songs lined up? Because I feel like I need Greg to sing something, maybe an ode to his meal.
Well, we need you to sing something, Amy. Maybe you could sing something while I find an app.
Do we have any requests?
Sean Cassidy.
Oh, I don't even know if I know any Sean Cassidy.
Are you even looking at our little Slack private channel for our podcast biz?
No.
Oh, there's a Sean Cassidy video I shared with Sarah the other day.
Oh, I do see that.
I pay attention.
I do read that. Of course, Greg. I was like the next respondent.
So you know Do Run Run, right?
I had never heard that song before. I'm going to be very honest.
Yeah.
Well, I know that song, but I'd never heard that Deanie song or whatever it was.
Oh, Hey Deanie? You didn't know that one?
I've never, ever heard that before.
Oh, that was one of his big hits. And It's Only Rock and Roll.
I know. I was trying to think, what does one sing at a Podluck? Like, how
Look
does
at Eddie. He's ready for some Bohemian Rhapsody.
Well, there you go. I love rock and roll, something along those lines.
Like a Joan Jett?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joan Jett.
I love rock and roll. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. I love rock and roll. Want to take a chance and dance with me?
Hey!
And we're recording.
You really got that. Yay!
Oh, well done.
Again, in Podluck late night, I'll pull out my Devil Went Down to Georgia, but we're gonna need a few drinks.
Do it.
No. We're gonna need a few drinks, I think.
Just fly for everyone here. I will be calling Malhoit directly later tonight to get the rendition.
Eddie,
Amy had a video at one point.
Eddie, what's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't have one. I don't.
Do you know I've never done karaoke?
Are you serious?
Yes. So that's going to happen the next time we're IRL. Yeah.
That's crazy because you like sing out loud. You don't mind. Why don't you get up there?
Well, for my 22nd birthday, I did like an open mic night where somebody said, like, just play guitar, and I took requests and I did improvisational. Like, I made up a song to whatever words they threw out because I'm really good at rhyming couplets.
We got to do something like over Zoom sometime. I'll make my daughter play guitar.
Perfect. I can't sing. Sarah can, but here we are.
Yes.
Karaoke's not really about the quality of song. It's more about committing to the art of it.
Lauren is exactly right.
I think Joan Jett felt right today. That was a good move.
Sarah would sing,
but
Sarah would sing, but we all have to fill the tip jar before she'll sing. So
get your Venmo app. That's why Sarah's app of the day is Venmo.
My theory is that Sarah wasn't in a choir, but she needed an excuse to get out, so she will do whatever she can to not sing for us because she can't.
So you find out the real truth is that I can't sing.
She took singing lessons just to get out of the podcast.
It's like the guys in high school who just carry around the guitar cases all the time.
Oh my God. Yes.
Exactly.
Yep, you found me out. I don't really sing. It was just my excuse for Greg.
We had the guy like super, super shy, but he actually was a good guitar player. But for the talent show, he busted out Stairway to Heaven. It's the longest song ever.
It's like 11 minutes.
It's so long. He played the whole thing for the talent show.
Wow. That's ballsy. That is a bold talent show move.
Somebody else was a roller skater and they roller skated.
All right, we just got a few minutes left before we're going to wrap up. Let's just go around the horn, and what do we want to ask everybody, Sarah? Any ideas?
What her big app is?
First, I'm actually ready to give out an app of the week. I just needed a minute to think
All
about
right.
it.
So while Sarah's giving her big app, we'll go around the horn when she's done and ask everybody what's their go-to app on their phone. So Sarah, you go.
There you go. Perfect. So I want to recommend something called You Need a Budget, or YNAB. They have a website and an app, and you pay an annual subscription. And what this does that's different from any other budgeting app that I've ever used or seen is what you do is you basically assign a job to every dollar that comes in. And then you create a spreadsheet to kind of manage that money as you go throughout the week or throughout the month. And you can have a goal you can have multiple goals. It's actually a really nicely designed app, and the people that are behind it have a lot of videos and a lot of kind of instructions around their method for managing your money and what they recommend if you want to get out of debt and into saving more and living a little bit more of a healthy financial life. And it really made a huge difference for me. I don't actually use it that religiously anymore because I'm kind of now in a rhythm where I don't need it so much. But for a few years, I used it pretty faithfully, and I was able to get out of a ton of debt by being really, what's the word I'm looking for?
Deliberative.
Sure. So that's what I recommend. You Need a Budget.
All right. That's Sarah's big app of the week. What's the name of the app again, Sarah?
You Need a Budget, or YNAB.
Very good. All right. We'll go around the horn, and I'm just going to start picking on people. I was going to pick on Eddie as he's walking away from his desk. So I'll skip Eddie. Amy, what is right now your go-to app?
It is my Runkeeper app. I have to admit it. There's a personal trainer named Aaron on there who's got my name on it, and I even ran more than I was supposed to today.
Good.
Said Amy never.
Good. Josh, what is your go-to app?
My go-to app is Carrot Weather.
Ooh.
It's a weather app with SAS, and you can also, if you pay the subscription, there are different levels. It can actually help you figure out, it uses multiple weather services, and it can help you figure out which one is the most accurate. But it's, it was using Dark Sky. I don't know what it's going to be using for local weather once the APIs retire. I mean, local rainfall, sorry.
All right, Brian, what's your go-to app? Thank you, Josh.
As a recovering Apple fanboy, I hate to admit it, but Microsoft OneNote, I've got my whole life set up in there.
On OneNote?
Yeah, I've got lists and all kinds of stuff in there.
You have Greg's full attention, and he's never going to leave you alone now.
No, I've been trying to
when I'm studying for IT exams, I put all my notes in there.
Very good. Lauren, your go-to app.
I guess I will follow Sarah's lead and name a financial one. I use Acorns to save for like a rainy day. So it takes all of the change that you didn't spend and it rounds it up and puts it into an account, which is then they use micro investments to invest you into a portfolio of your choice, whether that's aggressive or not so aggressive. And, you know, it builds obviously over time, and you can add to it if you want, or add weekly if you want. And yeah, so
Are there fees and stuff associated with that, or is it all?
Yeah, there are. I mean, legally they have to because it is invested into various stocks, but it depends on how much you have in there. So if I forget what the rules are, but if you have less than like $5,000, it's, you know, 10% of something. If you have more than that, it's a flat fee, something like that.
And you're saving good with it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it works for me. It's not like my only account or anything like that, but it's nice for like a rainy day fund, just to not even think about it and have change automatically go into it.
That's right. You don't even think about it, and it's free money almost in that lens.
I think those are called Corona funds now, just to let you guys know what the lingo is for them.
Corona funds?
Yeah.
Thanks, Eddie. Mike Stanley, what is your go-to app these days?
Well, Sarah took my budgeting app, although I actually use EveryDollar from the Dave Ramsey folks. So I'll go with Libby. It's if you've ever heard of Overdrive or things like that, Libby is an app that you can use to download audiobooks and ebooks from your local library. You just plug in your library card and get to check them out. It's pretty nice.
So it's Libby as in library, L-I-B.
L-I-B-B-Y.
Wow, fantastic. Good call, especially these days. David, do you have a go-to app?
Yeah, I'm going to go with MediSafe. It's a call out for scheduling when you're supposed to take all your drugs every day. Works really nicely. And if you want to amuse yourself during the day, you can add things like a 9 a.m. shot of bourbon. So your app flashes up and says, hey, did you remember to take your 9 a.m. bourbon this morning?
What's it called again?
It's the MediSafe, M-E-D-I-S-A-F-E.
Yep.
Taking
I've got
notes.
that one too. That's a good one.
Very good. All right, Lonnie, what's your go-to?
Yeah, I'm actually similar to Mike around any of the audiobooks and books. So in addition to Overdrive, Audible's been my go-to because I've been downloading a lot of books to listen to. So that keeps me occupied. So I've got about like 9 or 10 books right now in progress.
All right, just a quick question. All right, because audiobooks, I love them for planes. I love them when you're driving or commuting somewhere. If you're just sitting on your couch listening to your audiobook, how do you stay awake?
Well, I'm not just sitting around usually when I'm playing them. Usually I might be like in the kitchen, or maybe I'm folding laundry. So it's usually I'm doing some sort of chore around the house. I do have some that I actually enjoy listening to when I go to sleep. So like Harry Potter, I've heard so many times, so I can like stick that in, and then that'll help put me to sleep.
And he's a great reader, so that's such a...
Yeah.
Who is it? Who's a great reader?
I don't even know this guy's name, but he's it's a magical... The guy who does the Harry Potter books.
Harry Potter
Stephen Fry, I think.
I'm going to look it up.
Oh, wow, that would be amazing. All right, while you're looking it up, Jason, what is your go-to app right now?
So we've had OneNote and Audible, which I use all the time. So I'll choose a different one. I've got 3 boys, all under 14. So the Cox Wi-Fi app with all the Wi-Fi profiles, whenever they start acting up, I just frown and look at my phone, and they're like, "Oh, stop, please, I'll stop. I won't do it anymore."
I love it.
It's their torture app. And
It
Eddie,
is.
your last, and certainly least.
Yeah.
What is your app, Eddie?
I went to go get my phone. So apparently, my go-to app of choice is Apollo, which is used for Reddit. It's an amazing Reddit client, but I use Reddit generally to get like to look for like advice, reviews on different things. Like when you guys heard about me doing home improvement stuff, I go on there and like, hey, actually, what's some real world experience with like retiling a floor?
I love it.
So I do.
That's so dumb because I just use Reddit. Like I didn't realize there were Reddit clients.
Oh my God, Sarah! This is an amazing Reddit client for mobile. The Reddit client that exists by default is it's not trash. It's not like Twitter.
But it's real narrow. The way the formatting for it seems off. So what's this app called again, Eddie?
Apollo, APO.
Apollo.
And it'll use it's iOS only, but it'll work on your iPad. But yeah, so that's my go-to app. But I was looking through. I was like, hey, what is my like go-to app? And it actually is WebEx Meet. 5 hours one day, like 7 hours. Day.
Oh wow!
Jeez.
So I didn't give mine yet, but the app that I've been using a lot lately is Filmic Pro. And it does a spectacular. So I've got a Pixel Pixel 3 XL, and a decent camera, but I mean it's not. I wouldn't say it's the best one out there, but it takes good video and makes it really good. Some of the things you can do with it, I'm pretty impressed with it.
Android or iOS?
Android for my Pixel.
Right? Yeah, I've got it on iOS and it works really good as well.
Yep. Well, very good. We got everybody's apps in. Any last words before we wrap up? Sarah, all I gotta say is the fact that you put the wedding dress on. Spectacular. Good.
I can't wait to take it off.
Not while the camera's on.
That just like I'm gonna let that comment just handle itself.
And cut.
I'm just glad it still fits. That was quite a few years ago, so it's a relief that I could put it on. I had a moment in the closet where I was like, "Will this work, or will I have to come out and ashamedly admit that I can only get in my sweatpants?"
No, good effort. Eddie, before we wrap up, any final words?
No, I had a blast. I think we should do this more often.
Absolutely. Amy.
I'm sorry that nobody had to use the bug spray, but I guess that's the advantage of a virtual Podluck.
That's true. And I like this. This was kind of fun. This is a nice way to spend a Saturday afternoon. So thank you everybody, Josh, Brian, Lauren, Mike, David, Lonnie, and Jason for joining us and putting up with our shenanigans and being listeners to the podcast. Really appreciate it. And hey, real quick, Lauren, give a plug for your podcast.
Oh, sure. Tech Village podcast. So we'll have a new episode out today, actually.
I've already listened to it.
Will you be making fun of us on that episode?
We are not. We're venting mostly about our lives and our work lives in this episode. We'll get to you next week.
Well, we'll have to all tune in.
By the way, huge thanks to Brian Gracely for joining us and showing us all the barbecue.
Yeah,
thanks a lot, Brian.
Yeah.
He's making ribs and he ate them all, I'm sure. And now I'm totally jealous. Like when he told me he was making ribs, I'm like, oh.
I'm not. I think Brian's going on the list now. No, I'm just kidding. I kid. All right.
It's because you said you wanted to see his butt.
Joining us recently. It was great to have Keith on the show.
A little on the quiet side.
But also Vince Wood. Vince isn't here right at this moment because he had to leave early, but it was great to have Vince.
Yep. Well, very good. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. And for those that are going to be listening.
Wait a second, Greg. How do you find us on YouTube?
Oh, I forgot. Actually, we've got a new URL for that. You just go to nerdherd.tv.
What?
Nerdherd.
I know, he cheated.
No kidding.
Yeah.
The one time we pulled the card, Amy, he was on point because it was a simplified URL.
He saw that one coming. He microwaved that answer.
I did. Amy, how can people find us on Twitter?
Nerd_herd_pod.
And Sarah, how can people find our Slack channel if they want to carry on with this nonsense after hours?
bit.ly/nerdherdpod.
And Eddie, how can people leave 5-star reviews for us?
Key point, Greg asked about 5-star reviews. After this, 5-star reviews only. Leave them on the iTunes, whatever.
All right.
Nailed it.
iTunes, whatever. I love it.
Next week I'll give Eddie nerdherd.tv. I think you can remember that.
Good luck. Good luck.
For my speed, Greg.
We should switch it up, just like a band plays each other's instruments. But we should switch up
Rotate.
the closing there.
Cross-functional.
Yeah.
We should.
I don't want to be I guess I'm the drummer. The drummer's always the one. Yeah, that's my best joke of what do you call a drummer without a girlfriend? Homeless.
All right. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up this week. Thank you, everybody. And thank you
Thanks
for
all.
joining this and a lot of fun. I can't wait to do this again.
Take care. Great rest of the weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.